Hey guys, I'm with Charles Idu right now, former rapper, podcaster, now a trainee vicar,
Let's go.
and we're kicking it over FIFA right now. It's good conversations.
It is indeed.
How you feeling, man?
Bro, I'm doing all right. Doing really good. Really excited to be here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're gonna have a good time.
So tell the people a little bit about your background. So you grew up in Nigeria, is that right?
Yeah, I grew up in Lagos, Nigeria. I think I always get the timing wrong. I probably lived the first 26 years of my life in Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria.
Okay.
So born and bred in Lagos, Nigeria.
Wow. That's a crazy place, huh?
It is. Well,
Yeah.
Lagos, I don't know what you heard about Lagos, but it can get crazy. A little bit crazy.
All I know is the Nigerian pirates.
Bro, everything in it's just like London, but on steroids.
Really?
Yeah. Everything moves quick.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an interesting place.
Okay. All right. That's cool. And you grew up in a pastor's home, is that right?
My dad's been in ministry for, I'd say, the last close to 40 years, to be fair.
40 years.
Yeah.
Wow. Deep in the game.
Yeah. So I'm the last of four.
Yeah.
Grew up in church, basically spent a lot of time in church.
Yeah.
I'd have those moments and, like coming back from school and my Nigerian dads are different, first of all. So yeah, I'll just be in my school uniform and my dad would be like, oh yeah, get in the car, we're going straight to church. And I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Let's go, we are here.
So it was like heavy discipline.
Yeah,
type of thing.
yeah,
Okay.
that sort of thing, yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. And what did that look like? Was it like early morning prayers, night vigils?
Oh
that
yeah,
kind of stuff?
oh yeah, bro, you know about the night
Yeah,
vigils?
of course, bro. You gotta know.
So yeah, we used to do early morning prayers on Saturday morning.
Okay.
But my dad worked a full-time job
Yeah.
and pastored at the same time, so we
Oh.
couldn't do like every morning type thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did like
Okay.
Saturday morning, but it was hard because you had to be up at 6 a.m. or something like that. And then night vigils, bro, every last Friday of the month.
Yeah. Oh man, just praying all night. Huh?
Just praying praying all night. And well, for me, more sleeping all night, to be fair.
Okay.
I pretend like I was praying.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really. I think when you grow up, when you're a pastor's kid,
Yeah.
like every pastor's kid is listening out there. If there are any pastor's kids listening, you know it's a struggle to just be the kid that your dad wants you to be sometimes.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Right. And were you a believer at the time?
That's a great question. I used to go to church. I wouldn't have classed myself as a believer until I was about 15.
Okay.
I got baptized at 15.
Yeah.
I think that's when I started to like take my faith seriously.
Yeah.
And then for 3 years, I think I was walking with the Lord.
Yeah.
Intentionally walking with him. And then I got into uni at 18. I got into uni at 18 and I was sidetracked massively and started doing my own thing.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and I think that, started a whole like story. Just started doing my own thing.
Yeah.
Started getting involved with the wrong people. And yeah, I did that for the next, 5-6 years.
Okay. Okay. Before we get into that, just tell
Yeah.
me, because you said you weren't really a believer, right? Before 15.
Yeah.
So what was that like not really believing this stuff, but obviously having your dad as the pastor,
Yeah.
And you're not really believing, but he's asking you to wake up at 6 to pray and doing the night vigils and stuff. Like, was that jarring for you?
Yeah, it was. I used to go to church. Basically, I was always like musical.
Yeah.
So I grew up like singing, and I started singing in the choir when I was probably like 7. But I'd sing songs that I didn't really believe. I would pray prayers that I didn't believe.
Yeah.
Everyone around me kind of prayed in tongues, so I started to mimic what was in front of me.
Right. Fake it till you make it.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And so I think for me, it was just like,
Yeah.
it was routine.
Yeah.
It was routine rather than relationship based.
Yeah.
I didn't really know the Jesus my dad was talking to or
Yeah.
my mom was talking to.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like,
Yeah. Dang, bro.
it was that for me. I think
Yeah.
what made it even more complicated was I was on the worship team at some point.
Yeah.
And I would lead worship, and then people would like have this massive encounters with Jesus.
Yeah.
And they would be crying on the floor, and I'd be like, I'm not really feeling what they're feeling. And how is
Yeah.
it that I'm leading them?
Yeah.
And they're having these beautiful encounters, but like I would act, obviously you do like the church stuff and act like you are
Yeah.
in the moment, enjoying and feeling it, and all spiritual and any of that. You learn how to do
Yeah.
that in Pentecostal circles. But I wasn't there.
Dang, bro. And do you feel like that affects people negatively when they're kind of like not believing, but their parents kind of force it on them, or they have to fake it?
Yeah, I think if you grow up in a family where you know, you have to fake it till you make it, or you have to show up a certain way, keep up the appearances.
Yeah.
Thank God for the grace and mercy of God and how he sort of pulls you back.
Yeah.
It does take a toll on you. It does make you realize, oh man, I wish. Okay, now I have kids, for example. I'm trying to invite my kids into that whole, you know, I'm up in the morning praying, but what does it look like for a 3-year-old to participate in that moment with me, rather than what does it look like for her to come into my world and me then impose my world on her.
Right.
So it's like, what does it look like for a 2-year-old or 3-year-old to engage with God in the morning at 6 a.m. when I'm doing the prayers?
Yeah.
And that's a hard question that a parent kind of asks themselves. And I'm learning how to do that more than ever before, because I don't want to repeat the same like thing that I had to go through.
Yeah, for sure.
With my own family. So
For sure. Wow. And so after that whole process, what happened at 15 that brought you to faith?
yeah, so I think I went for a youth sort of like camp meeting. That's what we called them back in Nigeria. It was a camp meeting, and it was organized by the church that my dad led. And there was like an altar call. I remember that altar call. And then I had like a whole moment with the Lord in that, you know, that space. And then off the back of that, I spoke to my dad about getting baptized. There was a baptism happened. My dad baptized me in a river.
Wow.
Yeah, and off the back of that, I just started walking with the Lord. And then I noticed a shift. Worship songs that I would sing
Yeah.
started to become real to me. Like the words started to hold more weight. I knew these songs before I got baptized.
Wow.
But they started to hold like a different kind of weight.
Yeah.
And so for me, I think the shift happened when the Holy Spirit made those songs come alive. And so I think that was a massive shift.
Yeah. And what happened at that camp? You said there was an altar call, but
Yeah.
what made you come up and make that decision?
Yeah, I thought to myself, I remember thinking to myself, look, I don't want this thing to be fake anymore. I'm done with trying to pretend.
Yeah.
If Jesus is real, then I want to know him as a real person.
Yeah.
And it's funny how that tailors into like the life that I'm living now. As a 15-year-old, I was asking that question. As a 33-year-old, I'm still asking that question. Like, if Jesus is real,
Yeah.
then I want to know the real Jesus.
Yeah.
And not an idea of him.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes we kind of know an idea of Jesus that our favorite pastor / church ministry, whatever it is given to us, or I know Chosen. I love Chosen. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. I want to know the real Jesus, and I still ask that question even at 33.
Wow. So you were 15,
Yeah.
gave your life to the Lord, and you said it was about 3 years that you were walking with him.
Yeah, 3 years until I was 18, got into uni, started doing music, professionally. Well, not professionally. I thought it was professionally. Because I did like a rap battle. So I used to be into like the whole rap battle culture.
Yeah.
Accidentally.
Yeah.
There's a crazy story behind that. My friends at the time, I used to rap in the hostel a lot, like the student halls. I would rap and just freestyle.
This is in uni?
Yeah, this is in uni when I got in. And my friends are like, oh, you should actually do this. Get on stage and do this, bro, you got it. And I was like, no, never. It's never going to happen. And so I was like, yeah, never going to happen. My friends went in and tricked me into attending what they called a party. That was not a party. It was actually, it was a rap battle contest.
What?
I did not know. Had no idea.
Like a full-on official thing, and they just...
Yeah, they tricked me into it,
Bro,
registered my name and all of that. I came through, I'm like, oh, this is a weird party. Like, there's people sitting down and no one's really dancing or doing anything. And then I heard my name announced from stage, like, oh yeah, we're gonna invite Charles to come battle so-and-so. I can't remember.
So like a proper stage.
Yeah.
And was it a cappella or DJ? Like over
Yeah, there was DJ, there was all the works, bro. There was a whole crowd as well.
Dang, bro.
And then thankfully I'd had like some experience in front of crowd just from like doing church stuff. So I wasn't like shook by that or anything.
Yeah. Like how many people were there roughly?
I'd say 100 people.
Yeah, that's a solid. That's pressure.
It is pressure.
Especially when you don't see it coming.
Yeah, but I jumped in, smoked the guy.
Sheesh.
And then I was like, oh, this is a thing. I could actually start doing like rap battles. So I started going around the uni and I started doing rap battles. And I was winning rap battles left, right, center.
Jeez.
I remember doing like 5 of them back to back, and I think I won every single one.
Jeez.
And then the next morning, I walked out of my hostel just thinking, I bet people know who I am now. I'm a famous guy. I walked out of the room just looking over my shoulder, like no one was paying attention because everyone was like, who's this guy? No one knew me still, but I thought I was famous in my head. But yeah, that just was the beginning of what I'd like to call like my interest in music. Again, it started from a place of like friends encouraging me to do the stuff that I enjoyed doing.
Yeah.
But that also fed into my ego in terms of, I can actually be famous. I can actually be recognized for this. And so the drive was more, I can be recognized for this rather than this is fun. I enjoy creating stuff.
Yeah. But your friends were onto something. Like you had talent.
Yeah, they were onto something. Yeah, one of them is still my best friend till now. Like, I still meet up with them. And he's a lawyer now. He like reads me like a book as well, because he's known me for such a long time. And so one of my closest friends is off the bat. Actually, he was the one who put my name down. And then he was the one who came to get me from the hall. I was like, yeah, you should go for this party. I wasn't going to go for the party, quote unquote party. But yeah, shout out to Jones.
Dang.
Shout out to Jones.
What do you think made you so good at it? Like, were you watching like better rap battles? Like, what was it?
Bro, what's mad is from secondary school, bro, I just used to write lyrics. So this is a crazy story. I was doing a math exam. I hated math. I still do. My math's terrible. But yeah, I didn't just enjoy the subject. But in my sorry, I got distracted by the thing there.
It's all good. It's all good.
In my math exam, I remember writing a poem on my answer sheet.
What?
Yep.
So this is a test.
Yeah, this is a test.
Like it's graded and everything.
It's graded. I wrote a whole poem in it. Because I didn't care about whether. Don't do that. If you're listening to me and you've got a test coming, don't do that. It's terrible behavior.
That is wild.
But yeah, I did that, and my math teacher was so annoyed.
I can imagine.
But my English teacher loved it.
So words over numbers for you.
Yeah, words over numbers. Any day, any time.
I feel that.
And so I started like really early. My first rap battle actually was in secondary school. It was with my mate who organized it. And then, of course, I smoked him. And then, because he was not even a rapper. He just wanted to have fun. And I was just like, I took it really serious. I was preparing like 3 days before. And he just came through. And yeah, so that was my first like thing. But also, I think my dad used to be a DJ when he was younger. So I think it's probably like music sort of runs in the family. My brother is like a trained jazz pianist. And yeah, I guess we've always just been creative.
Yeah, you got that in your blood for sure.
Yeah.
Wow. So talk me through that process. So you're winning these rap battles, you're smoking dudes left and right. Your friends are bigging you up. There's like you got a bit of a fan base building on campus.
Yeah.
And this ended up progressing actually to kind of professional for you.
Yes.
So what was that path like?
So, excuse me, I met up with my manager in uni at the time who used to take me to all the rap battles basically.
Yeah.
It was something like unofficial. He wasn't like my professional manager, no contracts or any of that. But I met up with him after uni. At this time, he had gotten a job role as a PA to this billionaire who had like a movie making company.
Okay.
And wanted to get involved in music.
Wow.
And so I got linked up with that connect and went in there, put my music in front of her. She loved it. Could I go into the catch of it?
Yeah.
She loved it, and I remember going home with my manager that day and both excited. She's like, oh yeah, I'll bankroll the music. I'll sign a management deal with you. I'll put money behind this.
Yeah.
And my manager sits me down. I'll never forget, we're sat at this moment just in front of his house, and it's like probably like 12 midnight. And he just says to me, but bro, there's a catch to this. I'm like, what's the catch? Anything, I'm ready. I want to, blow up and take this thing to the next level. Yeah. We've been out here for a minute.
Yeah.
And he was like, bro, the catch is this billionaire lady who's 48 at the time. I'm 23. Would want you to be her boyfriend. For her to blow up your music.
48.
Bankroll you, bro.
Dang, bro.
And so I asked him, I'm like...
That's more than double.
Yeah, it is, bro. I was like, is that how... Because I was so green to the music industry, I didn't know what was, what was in and what was out. So he was like, yeah, that's how, you get big in this industry. You have to, sort of, pay the price and all that jazz, all that stuff they sell you, all that nonsense they sell you. But I was like, yeah, okay, I'm happy to do that. And I didn't fully know what I was saying yes to. Right? Didn't fully know what I was saying yes to. I just went in, and that was how a relationship started. I was basically in a relationship with a 49-year-old woman at 23 for 2.5 years, 3 years. Wow. She did come good in terms of like bankrolling music. She gave me a house, she gave me a driver, chauffeur, whatever you call it, a chef, big house. At 23, I was living like that. A lot of my friends weren't. And so I was like, yo, there's nothing better than this. She
bought you a house?
Yeah, no, well, she owned the house.
She owned the house.
She owned houses.
You would live there?
Yeah, she just gave me one of them and gave me like, she set up like a whole business for me as well to just give me side income that I didn't have to manage, which is wild. And yeah, that was the life. That was the life I was living. I was like, this is great. I get to do music and not have to fund my life.
Yeah. So you were happy with it. You were like, this is a sweet deal for me.
Yeah. I was like, this is good. I did that for 3 years. I got connected. Well, she signed a management contract with me. Yeah. Oh, actually, she didn't. The management contract was unofficial. Yeah. Obviously, I was her boyfriend. So. Yeah. But yeah, there was a management contract, had a road manager. Yeah. And she connected me to my first record deal. This was after 2.5 years of being in a relationship with her. And my first record deal was 3 years in. I was signed on to a record label, and the management company for that record label is the same one that manages a popular African artist called Two-Face. And yeah, they were really good to me, that management company. Like, I remember like first 2 weeks in, I was already writing a song with BurnaBoy. I'll never forget the day Burna walked into the studio. He came in with like 15 people.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's a small studio.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a studio, but he came in like, I'm like, this is how they roll.
Dang.
The whole mob came through.
Yeah.
And he was just sat there, and my whole life flashed before my eyes then. Burna had just been nominated for the Grammys at that moment. So I was just like, my whole life flashed before me, and I was like, oh man, I'm actually sitting in a dream that I worked so hard for. At this point, 4 years in.
Wow.
And I remember co-writing the song, wrote bits of it, and you know.
Which song is it?
So the song is called We Must Groove. And it's by Two-Face featuring BurnaBoy. If you check on Apple Music, you'd see the credits there. My name's right there.
Yeah.
Sometimes I still go back on Apple Music to look and think, oh man, it's real. I actually lived that life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And so yeah, I did that. And then I wrote a few other songs on one other song on that album, because he was dropping an album, Two-Face.
Yeah.
But short story is I walked out of that contract, and there's a whole story as to why.
Yeah.
Basically, I walked out of that contract thinking to myself, I'm done living this life of just being so dependent on this woman and her money, and I didn't see a future because I thought I was going to. You know, at that point, I thought, oh yeah, maybe I'd have gone further in my musical career than this, but it felt like I was stuck. It felt like there was a cap. And now I look back at that cap and I realized that was protection. It was God's protection. In that moment, I thought, oh, this is hard going. I've been, you know, quote unquote, hustling, trying to, you know, get ahead with this music thing. It's not really working how I thought it would work. I'm not blown up yet. I remember meeting WizKid's manager. I don't know if you know Wiz.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I remember meetings. But I met like all the greats, like David O, his manager, all that stuff. And I thought, well, I've met everyone in the industry, but still I'm not blown. Like, maybe this is not for me. So I started to have this dissatisfaction, which I didn't know at the time was like God's way of inviting me to a better kind of like, not even better, to just a relationship with him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Which is very different to the relationship I had with this woman. A relationship where there was no someone's taking advantage, a relationship where there was trust, a relationship where there was love. And he was basically inviting me into that. I just didn't know at the time. And so what I called a roadblock was actually his protection.
That is so powerful, bro. And even in that time, like, you weren't really walking with him like that.
No.
Would you say that you weren't really a believer through that whole journey, right?
No, I was not a believer.
Right.
But thank God for my parents' prayers, man. I remember going home after I walked out of that musical career. And my dad showed me, I stood in his bedroom. This was like a month before I came to the UK. And my dad was like, he said to me, he pointed at a spot in his bedroom. It was like, right there where you're standing. I knelt down there every day for 4 years and I called your name in prayer. And like brought me to tears immediately. He said that. And he said, I literally prayed you back home. Which is like the Father's love again. It reminded me of the Father's love. And he was like, I literally prayed you back home. And those words stuck with me.
Wow. And what do you think would you say that was like the moment when you were like, this is, I'm fully committing to Christ?
So there was a moment before that moment. So for me, it was when I was doing music, obviously walked out of my mansion, was given to me by this woman. And I moved into a 1-bedroom flat with my friend. Again, the friend who wrote my name down for the battle.
Right.
That same guy,
Jeez.
And he, at this point, was like a seasoned Christian. And then I started living with him. And then he said to me, bro, if you're gonna leave all of that and come live with me, then you're going to have to live by my own standards, and, you know, no smoking, no drinking, no having the ladies, all that stuff. Like, if you do that, you're out. And I looked at his eyes when he said that, he meant it. He was like, yeah, you are out. And I knew, yeah, I don't want to mess around.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that was like mini, like clean up for me. So I literally stopped drinking.
So were you deep in that lifestyle?
Yeah, I was.
Like
I was the the drugs, the alcohol, the women. Even though I was in a relationship with 48-year-old women, I still had girlfriends.
And she was cool with that?
She didn't know. She kind of suspected, but in my head, I thought I was finessing her, but I wasn't. She kind of knew, but she was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Because I feel like for her, it felt like I've got money, and therefore, you know, I kind of quote and unquote, I could get you to do whatever I want. And so she didn't really mind if I was doing other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the comeback story for me back to the Lord was my sister, my oldest sister, who is also a pastor, married to a pastor. She would text me every now and again when I used to do music, and she'd say to me, "You're gonna end up a pastor."
Okay.
But that would annoy me so much because I was doing everything to blow up as a recording artist.
Yeah.
And she's like, "You're gonna end up a pastor." She would send text on Bible scriptures. I remember one day just flipping and just like getting really annoyed at her.
Why was she saying that?
She just kept saying that because I guess prophetically, she saw today.
So she was praying into it, and
she was praying into it, and then
she had like a vision of
and then she would text me and say that every single maybe every month or something like that. She would just start having conversations, and the next thing she'd be like, "Oh, you're gonna end up a pastor."
Yeah.
And then I remember literally losing the plot and just going crazy, saying some unprintable words to her over a text message. And then she screen grabbed those messages. And then I think about 2 and 3 years ago, she said to me, "I'm gonna send you something that's gonna blow your mind." So she sent me a screenshot of those messages. At this point, I had become a pastor. I was a pastor in Bournemouth.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa. It's crazy how all of the words that she was saying in those messages have now come to fruition.
Jeez.
And I'm like, God is so good.
Wow.
He's so good.
Wow, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and for me, so my sister phoned me, I think when I was in my friend's house.
Yeah.
And then she said, "Do you want to come back home?" At first I was like, no, you know, because my pride was still in the way. I was just like, I'm gonna make sure that I blow up, I make it in this music industry. I'm not going back home without anything to show for it.
Yeah.
And
you sound like you weren't really that happy at that time, but I mean, that seems strange to me because you had so much, right? You had the mansion. I mean, you had the collabs with BurnaBoy and Two Face, and you were in it, like properly in it with like all the big artists.
Yeah.
So would you say you weren't happy with that?
Yeah, but that's the thing though. Like when you hinge your sense of fulfillment or happiness on something that's so fleeting and temporary, like fame or money or success, whatever you define that as, you realize that whatever picture you have of success, when you get to that picture, when you actually start to live that picture, you realize there's still a void because there's a God-sized hole in all of us that only God can fill. And so for me, I was just like, oh yeah, I got to the point where I remember signing that 3-year deal, and after signing it, I just felt like an overwhelming sense of emptiness.
Jeez.
Leading up to that deal, I was so excited. I was telling all my mates about it. Because I had said to all my mates, Two Face is gonna sign me. This was even before I met him, right before I even knew him.
Yeah.
I was like, Two Face is gonna sign me up. And it did happen. So I just started going crazy, telling all my friends about it. But I remember signing the deal.
Yeah.
And I was like, this doesn't feel like how I thought it was gonna feel. It just felt hollow and empty. It's the same thing that happened when I got the keys to the big house. You know, I was like, this doesn't feel like everything I dreamt it would be.
Right.
But it goes back to that thing of where you hinge your you know, like where you find fulfillment and satisfaction. If it's not God, like if your audience is not God, or if God is not your audience, then your audience very quickly becomes your God.
Right.
And so your audience isn't God is a false God, terrible God. They don't treat you nice. And for me, music was my everything.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't happy. I thought it would bring me happiness, but it didn't. I thought it would bring me satisfaction and fulfillment, but it didn't. So I went back home. I remember going back home thinking I was going to be like shamed by my dad, because African culture, it's Nigerian culture is an honor and shame culture.
For sure. Heavy.
So you do stuff that brings honor to your family, you get honor, you get more honor. You do stuff that brings shame to your family, you get shame, and you get really good. And so I thought I was going to be shamed by my dad, but he had his arms open, like, and received me, and that was the beginning of my journey back to the Lord, actually.
Wow, bro. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but that whole situation seems pretty scandalous, you know, because he's the pastor, you're the pastor's son.
Yeah.
You've gone away to uni now.
Yeah.
You've become this big secular rapper, writing kind of explicit songs.
Oh man, I put my dad through hell.
I mean, that must have been a big scandal for him and his community, right?
100%. So, to be fair, till today, I don't know how, you know, he went through it. I think it was just God's grace, because there'd be people who would like go like and tell him stuff about me as well.
Oh gosh.
Do you get what I mean? Because I was out.
You think he knew about the woman and all that?
I think he did, because my
oh man.
because I remember actually I had a conversation with him like 2 years ago. At this point, I was already in the UK, saved and walking with the Lord. I was already a pastor and all of that. And so I remember having a conversation with him, and I was like trying to tell him like the secrets of my, you know, past. And he was like, he calls me OC, which is my middle name. He was like, OC, you don't think I already knew that? I knew all about that. I was like, how do you know? It's like, I'm your dad. What do you like?
Yeah, he was keeping tabs.
Yeah, he was just like, he was following me on my socials.
Of course, yeah.
And there were people who would see me at certain places, like clubs or whatever, and would go tell him.
Yeah.
You know, I had a music video on TV that was played on TV. That didn't look, it was not the most Christian music video in the world. Do you get what I mean? And so he'd seen that as well. And so I just thought he definitely knew, but I just thought, if he did know, why didn't he say anything? But I guess he was just walking with the Lord and allowing God to lead him at the time. So it did bring a lot of like issues for the community. I remember I grew a dreadlock thing. So in Nigeria, a very conservative church, right? My dad, even having like long hair, dreadlocks, ears piercings and all of that, nose piercing, it was a lot to deal with in a conservative evangelical church or charismatic evangelical church. And so that was a lot. I'd come back and try and lead worship with earrings on. My dad would be like, oh, do you want to take it off? I'd be like, no, I'm not leading then. All that type of stuff.
Yeah, right. Dang, bro. But he accepted you back in.
He did. My dad showed me what the Father's love is in real time.
This is literally the prodigal son story.
Yeah, 100%. Literally. That's one of like my best gospel stories, if I'm being honest. Yeah.
And what did that feel like to you at the time? I imagine you're thinking about coming back home, and you got your head down. You're thinking, oh man, I'm getting scolded. I'm getting And then,
to be fair, there's two things that happen. It's such a prodigal son story, to be completely honest, because I was so broke at the time when I was coming back. So I was like, do you know what? It's either this or nothing. So
it's like you have
I'm just like, no options.
That's so real, though. That's so real. That's so real. What am I going to go back to? That's so real.
I was happy to go back home and have someone like, you know, make me food, because I was at this point I was living with my friend who was working as like an undergrad lawyer at the time. He was not doing too well, and so I'd spent all my money that I'd gotten from like music or anything, and I was just gone. I was rinsed, and so I was like, I am going home anyways. But there was also like the shame that I knew I was going to face, but I didn't end up facing because my dad modeled to me what the love of God feels, looks like in real time. And if anything, I want to be able to model that to my kids as well.
Wow, bro. You can't be the same after something like that.
No.
Yeah. Wow. And then what was that transition like? So you come back to your dad's house.
Yeah.
You're like fully walking with the Lord now.
Yeah.
And then, what was life like after that?
So I remember being at my dad's house. I joined the worship team again because I was like, oh yeah, music. Because I literally walked away from music completely. So I did not want to be close to a studio. Of course, because I'd lived my whole life out there.
Yeah.
And again, I was just like, I didn't want anything to do with the previous life that I had when I came back to know the Lord.
Yeah.
Started walking with him, truly walking with him. I remember actually fasting for the first time in my life.
Yeah.
When I came back to the Lord. It just felt like a refreshing time. It felt like I didn't need to hustle anymore.
Yeah.
It felt like I didn't need to strive to prove my identity to anyone. I was so bogged down with my self-image as an artist as well.
Yeah.
The way that I looked, what I wore, what clothes I was putting on, or how I showed up, all of that. And also, like, this is deep as well. So in Nigeria, there's a thing called like toning your skin.
Okay.
Right? So where, if you were dark skinned like myself, you kind of start toning your skin with like cosmetic products and start getting lighter and lighter. And I used to do that because I was I feel like it's easy to say like young females are so bogged down with self-image, but I think we sometimes ignore how young males can be with like even the gym, for example.
Yeah, for sure.
Or even you know, your parents and all of that.
For sure.
And so that was me. I toned my skin for like 3 to 4 years. But when I came back to my dad's house, I just didn't feel the need to be anything else other than what God's and who God's created me to be. I started to rest in the assurance of the safety that his love, only God's love gives to me. Like I couldn't find that in money. I couldn't find that in a big house or a nice car. I couldn't find that in some achievement in music.
Yeah.
No, I could only find that in him.
Yeah. Wow. And you started to pray more deeply.
Oh, yes. I think my whole prayer life, I like to talk about it as being like radically deconstructed by the Lord. He basically took what I had learned from my upbringing, from the routine, from the stuff I saw my parents do, which I thought was, I mean, they meant it, for them it was good, but for me, I didn't mean it. So it meant nothing to me.
Right.
But he took that prayer life and sort of pieced that apart.
Yeah.
It was a hard time, hard season in my life, and then reintroduced me again to what prayer truly means. And for me, I think prayer, and this is how I like to define it, so simple, yet I think it's so profound because it changes my life, or has changed my life, rather.
Yeah.
Prayer is becoming aware of a God who is fully aware of you. And bro, when you sit with the reality of what that statement holds, like the power it holds, it first of all demystifies prayer. It brings it back to that simple father and son, father and daughter relationship.
Yeah.
Where I'm just becoming increasingly aware of a God who is aware of me.
Yeah.
Like fully aware of me.
Yeah.
Every word that we say to him, he knows the depths of those words. I think for me, that just radically revolutionized my prayer life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I think what I'm learning also is just like with my daughter, my first, it's just like, what does it look like for her to live out the reality of that truth, that prayer is to become aware of a God who is fully aware of all that you are. What does that look like for a 3-year-old? What does that look like for a 23-year-old? What does that look like for a 17-year-old?
Yeah.
You know, if you've never prayed before, what does it look like to actually sit and think, God is fully aware of me right now? Can I just sit in the reality of that for a second? That's beautiful.
That is beautiful. Would you say that thinking about it that way, there's less an emphasis on the words you say?
100%.
And it's more about your heart?
Yes.
So it's more about like slowing down and just, just opening yourself up to him.
Yes, because you do get the words eventually, but sometimes like, I feel like just growing up in church, I got the words before I got the heart.
Yeah.
So I got the words to say, and I would say the words, obviously.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the heart that carried those words to a point where they meant something.
Yeah.
So I'd spit the words out, I'd say the words, I'd chat the words, but I didn't mean the words.
Yeah.
And I think for me, just sitting with the reality of that statement allows me to say, oh yeah, the words are real, but it also comes from a place of the heart behind it is real as well. And you can build up on that to any level that you want to take it. But I think that's a great place to start from in terms of prayer.
Yeah. And what is the effect of praying that way? Do you feel him more? What is it like?
I think what that looks like for you, for anyone who like starts to think about prayer that way is, you know, I was sharing this with my wife this morning actually.
Yeah.
I said, you know what's crazy? You wake up in the morning and if you have like a devotional, if you're Christian and you have like a devotional and you're like, oh yeah, I usually spend my mornings, you know, with like a hot cup of whatever you drink and Bible open and, you know, and then I get close to God. And I said, it's crazy how we use that phrase, get close to God. Because as though when you went to sleep, you weren't distant from him.
Yeah.
You know, and we started chatting about it and I said, you wake up in his arms. Like you don't wake up distant from God. You wake up in his arms so that you could become aware of him.
Yeah.
And I think that's what prayer is for us, is just like, how do I become aware of a God who is already aware of me, fully aware of me?
Yeah.
And I feel like it leads you to a place where you don't have to strive. It leads you to a place where you don't have to like feel, oh, I'm distant, I need to strive and get close to God. You're already close to him. Like even scripture says he's closer to you than your very breath. And I'm just like, that's a wild concept that my very breath is so close to my nostrils and God's closer to you than that.
Yeah.
So I don't need to strive for his attention. I already have it.
Yeah.
I think that just brings me to a place of peace. Very charismatic in my prayer, but also sometimes you might catch me just being silent for hours. And my wife would be like, what's going on, bro? You sleeping? Nah, I'm praying.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm loud and praying in tongues and shaking down the building. Other times I'm just quiet because my prayer time is basically what he says my prayer time is. I've let him like dictate to me the details of my diary. You know, like, what are we doing? Like, it's your space, Jesus. What do you want to do? It's kind of like hanging out with you playing FIFA. Like, what do you want to do? Do you want to have a chat? Or do you want to sit in silence? I'm so comfortable around him and he's so comfortable around me. I don't have to act up. It's like that relationship that you're so sure that this person knows me and loves me deeply. I don't have to put up a front for him.
Yeah. Wow. You described the feeling of peace. How else would you describe his presence or your relationship with him in tangible terms?
I think holiness. I had a beautiful encounter with Jesus in the time of prayer, and I was just like, the sense that I got was holiness. And a lot of times when people think holiness, it just mean like doing the right stuff. Like, don't lie, don't cheat, don't.
Right.
Yeah, that's just doing the right stuff.
Yeah.
Holiness actually looks like love so purified. It's like, it's the love of God so tangible, so purified, that you kind of just know there's nowhere I'd rather be. There's nothing better than this. It's like clean.
Yeah.
The only way I like to describe it is just clean, fresh water.
Yeah.
And you just think to yourself, this is love purified, and there's nowhere else I'd rather be. I think that's what holiness is, the character of God. And I sometimes feel that tangibly.
Wow.
Yeah.
My last question for you is, what would you say to someone who's never prayed before, or someone who struggles with prayer?
What would I say? I'd say start from where you are. Don't try and get to like some really great prayer personality standard that you've envisioned could be you.
Yeah.
Just start from where you are. And what that looks like is saying, Lord, I'm here. I remember like us just praying before we even started this. And one of the prayer lines I heard one of us saying was just like, Lord, we're here. And that's something I always go back to. Like, Lord, Jesus, I'm here.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful place to start from. It's becoming present in the moment that you're in, that you're sharing with him and saying, Lord, I'm here. And oftentimes when you say, Lord, I'm here, he usually responds with, I'm here as well. And that's a great place to start a conversation from.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amen. Wonderful. Cool. Yeah, guys, this has been a dope conversation with Charles Idu. Just kicking it over FIFA. I think, who's winning right now? I got you, right? It's 1-0
you do,
right
but
now. But
you know what? I've got 5 years of not touching a console, so.
It's true, it's true. It's
But
close.
yeah, I'm not making it too
close.
hard for you, am I? No.
It's close, it's close. No, your defense was pretty tight. I can't lie.
Yeah, right. You're just being nice, bro.
Yeah, you got it a few times. All right, guys, we're signing out.
Yeah.
Catch y'all next time.